everybody, welcome to Mini Beginner's Crash Course to Elasticsearch and Kibana. My name is Lisa Jung and I'm a developer advocate at Elastic. So this is a series of short videos for developers who want to get started with Elasticsearch and Kibana. And we're going to wrap up season 1 of this series with today's episode. So in episodes 19 through 21, we learned about what mapping is and how we can define our own mapping to make indexing and searching more efficient. But at times, you'll need to make changes to the mapping of an existing field. So today, we're going to learn how to do that. And we'll also learn about a feature called the runtime field, which allows you to add fields to existing document without reindexing your data. All right, let's get organized here. I have two windows open side by side. On the left, I have the Kibana console. On the right, I have the Part 5 repo. And this repo contains all the requests we'll be sending throughout this episode. And I've scrolled down to step 6, index your dataset into the new index section. So today's episode builds on the material covered in episodes 19 through 21, so be sure to watch these episodes beforehand to get the full context. So in episode 21, we've created the produce index with the optimal mapping we defined for our use case. Then we check the mapping of our index. But there are no documents in the produce index yet, so the next step would be to index your dataset into the new index. So for simplicity's sake, we'll index 2 documents here. Now notice that the first document is identical to the document we've been working with. So I'm going to delete everything from the console here and copy this request. I'm going to select this request and send. All right, so it looks like it worked. So let's scroll down to index the second document. And the second one is a document about mangoes, and its fields are almost identical to the first one, except that it has an extra field called organic set to true. Now, we didn't have this field when we created the mapping for our index, so this is a new field. So let's copy and paste this request into the console. Make sure to select and send. All right, so it looks like it worked as well. Then we're going to check the mapping of the index and see what happened. So let's scroll down to this request here, which says get mapping from the produce index. And let's copy and paste that into the console. Make sure to select and send. You'll see that Elasticsearch has dynamically added the new field organic to the mapping. And this makes sense because we could add new fields to the mapping. We just can't change the mapping of an existing field. So let's scroll down to what if you do need to make changes to the mapping of an existing field. So say you've added the rest of this huge data set to the produce index. Then your client comes back and asks you to run only a full text search on the field botanical name. Now, this is a bit of a dilemma because we've disabled the field botanical name when we created this index. Now remember, we cannot change the mapping of an existing field. If you do need to make changes to the existing field type, you have to create a new index with the latest mapping, then reindex all documents into the new index. So the first thing that we're going to do is to create a new index with the latest mapping. Now this is very similar to what we just did with the test index and produce index. So first, I'm going to delete everything in the console. And then I'm going to copy the mapping of the produce index and paste it here. Next, we're going to remove produce index along with this opening and closing brackets. Then scroll up to the field botanical name and set the type to text for full text searchable. Then remove this parameter called enabled. Then just above the mapping, add put followed by the name of the new index, which we'll name produce B2. Now this will create a new index with the latest mapping. Now I'm just gonna auto indent this here to make everything look nice. Then I'm gonna select and send. Okay, so it looks like it worked. Okay, so let's check the mapping to make sure everything worked. So let's scroll down to view the mapping of produce v2 and copy and paste this request into the console. Make sure to select and send. Okay, so it looks like the field botanical name has been set to text. So we just created the new index with the desired mapping. And the next step is to re-index the data from produce index to the produce v2 index. So let's scroll down to that section. So the request looks something like this. It's post followed by underscore reindex. Then we specify the source, which is the original index that contains a data set that we want to move over. Then we specify the destination, which is the new index that contains the latest mapping that we want. So let's copy and paste that into the console. Make sure to select and send. If the request is successful, you should see a response like this. So this essentially adds the data from the produce index to the produce v2 index with a new mapping. And the total shows you the number of documents you've re-indexed here. And 2 makes sense because we only had 2 documents in the original index. So from this point on, you could send all requests to the produce v2 index. Okay, so let's scroll down to runtime field here. So we have one last feature to work on. So our client wants to be able to get the summary of monthly expense. Now you've seen these diagrams before. So this requires splitting data into monthly buckets, then adding up the total of each document in the bucket. So the problem is that our documents don't have a field called total. However, we do have fields called quantity and unit price. So to get the total for each document, we need to multiply the values of the field quantity by unit price, then add up the total of all documents in each bucket. And this will yield the monthly expense. At this point, you might be thinking, all right, so somehow we'll have to calculate the total and store this in a new field called total. Then we'll add this field to the existing documents, then run the sum aggregation on this field. And this can get hairy because it involves adding a new field to existing documents in your index. And this requires re-indexing your data and starting all over again. But there is a feature that helps you get around this issue, and it's called the runtime field. So runtime is that moment in time when Elasticsearch is executing your request. And during runtime, you could actually create a temporary field and calculate a value within it, so that this field can be used to run whatever request that was sent during runtime. So you might be thinking, what the hell is she talking about? So let's break this down. So for our last feature, the missing ingredient is the field total. And we must calculate the total by multiplying quantity by unit price. Right now, the field total doesn't exist in our data set, so we can't aggregate on this field. So what we're going to do is to create a runtime field called total and add it to the mapping of the existing index. This runtime field is only going to get created when a user runs a request against this field. So here we're saying, hey, I want to add something to our mapping. Here we're adding a runtime field, which we'll name total. And when a user sends a request on the field total, Elasticsearch will know to create this runtime field. We know that the total will contain decimal points, so we'll set the type to double. And in the script, we're writing out the formula to calculate the value for the field total. So this script is saying for every document, multiply the value of unit price by the value of field quantity. So let's copy and paste that into the console. Make sure to select and send. So it looks like the runtime field has been added to the mapping. Now let's just make sure that everything worked by checking the mapping. So let's copy and paste this request into the console. Make sure to select and send. And you'll see that the runtime field has been added to the mapping. Remember, our index documents do not have a field total, but by adding a runtime field to our mapping, we're leaving some instructions for Elasticsearch. So here we're saying, if you ever receive a request on the field total, create a temporary field called total for each document and calculate its value by running the script. Then run the request on the field total and send the results back to the user. So let's put this to the test. So let's scroll down to step 3. Run a request on the runtime field, then down to example. We're going to send the following request to perform a sum aggregation on the runtime field total. Note that I'm not calculating the monthly expense here. I'm just sending a simple aggregation request to show you how the runtime field works. So this request is saying, get search results from produce v2 index. I only want the aggregations results, so don't bother sending me the hits. Now I'm sending an aggregations request here, which I'll name total expense. I want you to get the sum of the field total of all documents that exist in our index. So let's copy and paste that into the console. Make sure to select and send. If you look down in the aggregations results, which we name total expense, it'll show you the sum of the field total of all documents in our index. So let's talk about what just happened behind the scenes. So I'm going to scroll up to the mapping here. This request asks to run a sum aggregation on the field total. Now Elasticsearch will see this and refer to the mapping, and it'll go, this request is supposed to run against the field total. All right, so I'm going to create a temporary runtime field called total, then run this script to calculate the total for each document. Then run the aggregation on the runtime field total for all documents and send back the results. What's really cool is that the runtime field is only created and calculated when the request is being executed. So it's not indexed and doesn't take up any disk space. We also didn't have to re-index in order to add a new field to existing documents. Now there are a lot of cool things you can do with the runtime field. So if you're interested in learning more about it, scroll all the way down and check out this blog here. All right, we just learned what to do when you need to make changes to the mapping of an existing field. We also learned about a feature called the runtime field, which allows you to add fields to existing document without re-indexing your data. This content is an excerpt from the Beginner's Crash Course to Elasticsearch Part 5. And Part 5 is a full-length workshop where I talk about what mapping is and how you can define your own mapping to make indexing and searching more efficient. We also talk about what steps you could take when you need to make changes to an existing mapping and learn about the runtime field as well. So if you prefer the full-length workshop format, check out the link on the screen, and the link is also included in the description of this video. So today's episode marks the end of Season 1 of the Mini Beginner's Crash Course series, and I'm going to work on the content for Season 2, and I would love your help. So the whole point of this is to cover topics that will be helpful for you. So I've created a poll to see what you would like to learn about Elasticsearch and Kibana in Season 2. Now, I'll create the content on most requested topics along with other topics that you may find helpful. So please let me know what you would like to learn by participating in the poll. Now, one last announcement. As you continue your journey with Elasticsearch, you'll encounter some common errors associated with the topics we've covered. So I've created a workshop Part 6 on troubleshooting errors. So if you're interested, check out the link on the screen, and the link is also included in the description of this video. Thank you for watching, And I'll see you in the next season of Mini Beginner's Crash Course to Elasticsearch and Kibana.